Bangladesh first president, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman's, his house was demolished by over the 6 hours by Dhaka City Corporation bulldozer. So there we have seen that the administration was silent. So on this basis, you have you have made division by separating particular persons or their supporters. So on this basis, we can say that how you plan for reform Bangladesh or make unity, accept them, and are you an only advisor for the other half, excluding them particular parties or the persons?
Okay,
Thank you
very much indeed.
Yeah, simple answer is lots of questions, lots of issues, all came at the same time.
Yeah, when in August, after the uprisings that overthrew Sheikh Hasina, whose party, the Awami League, had been in power for 20 of the previous 30 years, he's taken on the role of chief advisor to the interim government of Bangladesh. That's a role that some of the protesters asked him to take on, which he's accepted. And many things have landed on your desk as a result. Many controversies about the next elections, which we will talk about when those are going to come, about the terms of those elections, many controversies about the media in Bangladesh, and of course you have the IMF to deal with now, the privilege of many leaders, and difficult economic circumstances for Bangladesh, including with the new world of tariffs that we are in many ways. So we're going to talk about all these things. Let me just say, for the avoidance of doubt, we are not under the Chatham House rule. This is being live streamed. It is very much on the record. So with that, Professor Yunus, very warm welcome. And you said that you were going to just make a few opening remarks about, indeed, what is on your mind, if not on your desk.
Well, thank you for inviting me. That's what I wanted to say. I have come to London with many incarnations. I was remembering my first incarnation as a Boy Scout way back in 1955, just returning from 8th World Jamboree held in Canada. So I was interviewed by BBC about my experience in Bangla program. So I earned 2 guinea for that. So I still remember it's a tremendous source of enjoyment that I earned 2 guinea in London. Since then, I have been here for many reasons. So one of them, as you mentioned, microcredit is issue. And then on youth movement, on social business, on creating a new world of 3 zeros, zero net carbon emission, zero wealth concentration, zero unemployment, and kind of pushing the idea every time that we have become part of a wrong civilization. We created a wrong civilization and just self-destructive civilization. We have no scapegoat in this civilization. We can, if you want to save ourselves as a human race, only way left to us is to create a new civilization, abandoning the present civilization. A civilization which will be characterized by 3 zeros. Zero net carbon emission, zero wealth concentration, zero unemployment. That's what I was doing and enjoying it, finding many people who would like to listen, argue, and get involved. It's an action thing. It's not just academic discussions and leave it at that. So I was very happy with that. But then new incarnation comes. I have to head a government. Absolutely unheard of. I never thought about it. And I got into it. So today I came in that incarnation. But I'll be free, I guess I'll be free to talk about other things too. Thank you. I'll stop here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I think you are meeting the King Charles on your, if you like, previous incarnation to do with the environment and microfinance, and you've met elements of the British government to do with your current role. which, as I said, we're going to start with, even though it is less, it brings us to the nitty-gritty of running a country, and we can go back to perhaps to some of the other themes and questions. But let me start with this question of the elections, which is controversial. You've said now a few days ago, okay, the next democratic elections are going to be in early April, but there's still a lot of controversy. The army and some politicians would like them by the end of this year. I believe you've banned the Awami League, the party of Sheikh Hasina, from contesting those elections, but it's one of the big parties. So already a big chorus of people saying these elections are not going to be free and fair. What do you say to that?
Well, I keep saying that we will have the most beautiful election we ever had in our history. And the time is right. People are ready. When you have an election after many, many years, after 17 years, you are having first time a real election. Excitement in the country that we will really go and cast our vote. In this meantime, it is 17 years. Imagine all the young people who are coming to that voting age. They are piling up. They never had the opportunity to cast their first vote yet. So excitement of these young people that I will decide who do I vote for. These boys, girls who waited and waited and waited. Their voice never counted like many other, the rest of the nation. So that excitement we want to use and create what we call a new Bangladesh. It's not just voting for routine, voting for electing a new government. It's voting to create a new Bangladesh. What is this all about? That's the promise we made as we were given the responsibility to make sure that the ideals, of the dreams of all the young people who gave their blood just the other day before we took the responsibility. We honored their wishes, we honored their dream. We want to say goodbye to the old Bangladesh and create a new Bangladesh. So we defined the new Bangladesh by three things. One is reform. We don't want to go back to the institutions who created this. So we want to reform all the institutions we have in the country. So we created commissions for each institutions to study and give us recommendations, what the fundamental changes in all those things. So we have a series of those commissions. They have submitted their reports, lots of recommendations, very, very drastic changes in the institutions that we have, elections, parliaments, constitutions, civil service, everything. So those recommendations. So we're looking at those recommendations, but our job is to build a consensus with all the parties. So we created a last commission, Consensus Building Commission. Have you heard about something like that? Consensus Building Commission? We have them. So their responsibility is to go through all the political parties, sit down together, find out which are the recommendations they will accept, and see in which recommendation all parties accept. That's a tough job for Bangladeshi politicians to agree on something all parties agree.
You know, I must say it would be tough for many politicians to agree on that because, and that's not a joke about politicians, because they might say, look, that's taking away the democratic element. Why don't you trust the voters? Trust the voters to vote for any of these parties and rely on them to use their judgment to pick the best ideas, rather than a commission appointed by you and your colleagues picking which ideas you like.
I wish we could do that if everybody understood what is a bicameral legislations, what the proportional voting is all about, all the complicated things you tell them, oh, forget it, how much money you give me, I vote for you. To make it very simple. So you pay me some money, I vote for you. That's all. All voting may translate into that. So we said we don't want to go to that part. Public, all the voters can watch this debate. This is all debate. It's on the newspaper every day. Happen. So ultimate aim, to make it short, ultimate aim is to get all those recommendations where all the parties agree, put it in a separate piece of paper, This is where all the parties agree. And then we celebrate, all the parties signed that agreement. We call it July Charter. And we are waiting for July to come next month. This charter will be presented to the nation, July Charter, and we celebrate. On this basis, now we'll have the election. That's how the election procedure was done. So one is the reform agenda. Next is the trial of the people who are perpetrators of all the things that happen in Bangladesh. I don't have to elaborate. It's a huge thing. It's a terrible thing that happened to Bangladesh. People were killed point blank on the street every day. Your son, your daughter went out, never came back, just shot. Two friends went out in the street saying goodbye to each other. We may not come back. Maybe one of us will come back, another will not come back. We say goodbye to each other. Went out of the street. Either none of them came back or one of them came back. And that's the period we passed through. This is coming as almost a year now. So we'll be celebrating those days of July and August and have this charter. And one is reform, another is the trial of all the perpetrators of this. People disappeared every day, and nobody knew where they disappeared, where did they end up their life. And horrible stories after stories. These are all documented now. So we have to find out why it happened, who did it, either whose orders. So we have to try them. So this is another agenda for us. Number 3 is the election. So we are talking about the election. So these 3 is our responsibility.
So I'll come on to the trials of people involved in a moment, but I just want to stay for just one moment on this question of the Charter, because critics of what you're doing would say, look, you're ruling out lots of political parties, anyone who doesn't agree with this Charter, for example, the Awami League. So you're not really giving people a choice. That this is not a democratic process. This is a very nice, wrapped up in lots of words about consensus. This is an authoritarian step for Bangladesh to take.
Yeah. Well, there's a debate about that too. I mean, the debate is Awami League a political party? If they can kill young people on the street just like that, make people disappear just like that, steal money just like that, would you still call it a political party? So that's a debate. This is not a judgment. The issue came on the 5th of August. The former Prime Minister fled the country. So people were celebrating in the whole country that finally we are free. So we thought this ends on the 5th of August after departure of former Prime Minister. For us, chapter is closed. This part is over. Now it's a country without them. But those who fled, for them it didn't end. They continued the same thing, in absentia, doing it from another country, exciting people. They are fighting on the street. This is the 10th month now. None of that party has ever expressed this remorse. Sorry, our fault, somebody's ordered, somebody got killed, I'm not responsible for it. I feel terrible that I have to be part of that. None of them. So we are for them it continues. So for us it is ended. So we don't feel safe there on the street demonstrating, they're threatening the people who are already the leaders of this uprising. So safety of the country, safety of the politics of the country, the nation has decided that for the time being, the activities of Awami League will be suspended for the time being. That's all we have done. We have not banned Awami League, we have not done anything. Until the trial is over, that's all.
The trial of those people?
All the people who found guilty.
So let me ask you then about that. Sheikh Hasina is obviously under the care of India, now in a secure house there, which she fled to. Will come on to relations with India as a result. But if I said to you, why not leave the question of the trial to the next elected government? What would you say? Why is this interim government going to deal with it?
I didn't decide it. We are given this task by the people who invited us to take the responsibility, 3 tasks. And we accepted those 3 tasks. We are just going through that.
Let me just ask you one other thing on this particular period. I'm looking over at some of the media, but there have been a lot of reports of a clampdown on media in Bangladesh over this period. What is your response to?
It's false. It's not true.
Not true.
They never had so much freedom in their life. They can say anything they want.
Yeah, we may hear some of that later.
I know.
Yeah. Let me come on to other questions about the economy, which is the role of anyone who takes on a job as you have done, and suddenly dealing with the economy of your country at a particularly difficult time. What has been the impact of the upheaval in tariffs that the world is going through?
Well, this is a very tough job for us. While the world is going through all these problems, we are going through another set of problems. We are at the zero level of our economy, or a negative level of our economy. Not only zero. Zero is still, you have positive thing that you can move. We have huge bills to pay, because all the mega projects previous government took, so that they can make lots of money out of that, cut from those things. Now they are maturing to be paid. We don't have any money. All the resources from the banks, from the other sources, non-banking sources. In total, we estimate, given to our white paper, $234 billion taken away from the country, and documented in which way, and so on and so forth. So that's where we are. Resources gone. We start from obligations to payment. It's a negative. Our foreign exchange reserve at the bottom because it's empty. Banking system collapsed completely because banking system is very easy to transfer the money, very simple procedure. Under threat, the whole board resigns. You put a new board of your choice and start issuing loans to your friends with the understanding this is a gift you get. You never have to pay back. There's no collateral, nothing. So this is the banking system we inherited. So we have to restore the banking system in some way. We have to make payments for all those people who are knocking at the door with the big checks, big bills that we have to pay. Otherwise, we're going to the court, which is not good for us. So we have to, in that crisis moment, the best thing that happened to us, the overseas Bangladeshis, many of them are here, in London, in England, and so on, and Middle East. They kept sending remittances, a huge amount of remittances, and that saved us. The economy was saved with them, and that remittances keep growing, keep growing, keep growing. Today, our balance of payment situation is completely changed.
As you said, and that has been a real transformation. The IMF, though, is having a lot of meetings with Bangladesh, and it is quite clear on this, it doesn't want Bangladesh to wait for the next government, it wants the interim government to deal with these sort of things. Right now, one of the things it wants is that you find a way to increase the rate at which people pay tax, that more people pay tax, that you can collect it better. Is that something you think is within the powers of an interim government?
The first thing I must mention in this, amazing response we get from all the governments of the world. Enormous support. They feel so relieved that finally this thing happened. Now we can have a government we can talk to and we can work with. And they said, any support you need, please tell us. We'll be very eager to do that. So that gave us a moral boost, that we are not abandoned. Government of United Kingdom, Great Britain is one of those countries. We are very grateful to them. Like European Union, United States, Japan, China, you name it. Every single government came with an enormous amount of support. And that gave us a moral boost that yes, we are not abandoned, we are not alone, they'll be helpful. And they were really helpful. You mentioned IMF. Yes, IMF also helpful. World Bank is helpful. All the international agencies.
Not everyone uses those adjectives. So
I'm telling you, it's a very concrete thing.
Yes.
The one that IMF came into the picture because the last debate that we had for the final release of the fund, the IMF was controlling and they agreed to give us, that you have to open your foreign exchange exchange rate. It should be left to the market. We are worried about it because so far we are controlling it so that we don't kind of expose ourselves in the drain of all the foreign exchange gone because of the system. So opening this to the market is a real something, a big decision for us, which we debated, and the IMF said, no, nothing doing. Unless you do that, we are not releasing our funds. We tried to convince them and explain the danger of it and so on. They said, no, we understand. But we studied, I think you can handle it. So we started saying, are we able to handle this? Let's open it up. Finally say, if they see some positive thing, why aren't we seeing it? So I challenged them. They finally agreed that let's do that. And tell them again, kind of note, in case we get into difficulty, we'll revert. This is just to protect ourselves. IMF says, okay, go ahead. We opened it, nothing happened. Same exchange rate was just a little bit, it's normal, it's working. So we are celebrating that finally we see the strength in the economy and so on. So IMF role is very positive. It's not a negative one. It's not trying to push us into trouble because of there's some principle they're holding on to. It's not like that. We were not willing to jump into the water. They said, come on, you do it. You can make it. And finally we made it. That's it. So we are thankful to IMF.
Okay. Let me ask you about relations with India and China, which seem to me to be somewhat in flux. Sheikh Hasina's government was very close in a way to India. Now she's there. Relations with India perhaps a bit less cool, a bit cooler between your team and Delhi now. Perhaps a little bit warmer on China now. What is your account of this and what you are trying to do in foreign policy now?
We are reaching out to everybody. As I said, all the governments of the world have been extremely supportive. So we are very thankful. We are trying to build up further relationship. We are asking for the help that never gave before. They were not existing before. So we said, let's do that. One of the things we are saying, corruption. Bangladesh is just deep into corruption. Everything is, system is corrupt, people are corrupt. So how to clean it up? What kind of changes we have to make the government clean with enormous corruption? So we say if there is a formula, there is a policy, there is a way to do that. So I mentioned something, that the conversation I had in September at the United Nations General Assembly. I was meeting all the world leaders to explain to them what's the situation in Bangladesh. So I was meeting Ursula von der Leyen at the European Union. So among many issues discussed, I said finally about the corruption. I don't know how to get out of this. Is there any way, is there any recommendations you make that we can follow? So she gave a big smile. She said, you know what? We are coming from worse than that. The European Union is coming from the worst of the corruption that we are facing. So yes, many of our countries were trying to join the European Union. We're just all over corrupt, everything. You never heard of those kind of corruptions in your life. They had it. So we have to install a system of cleansing them up, cleaning it up, washing them off, so that they can be clean as everybody else and join. Once they're clean, then we take. So we learned everything how to make it happen.
So how? Because some of the pressure was put on those countries, and not with perfect effect. It was put on those countries because they so much wanted to join the European Union.
Right.
So what is the pressure on Bangladesh politics and society to clean up?
It is a historical moment for us. If we can't do it now, we'll never do it. So we made us sure that this is the time. The history has given us a window. We can do things which no government can do. Because all governments are partisan, have far supporters to take. We have nothing to do with that. We have nobody that will be waiting for getting his vote for me to come back again. We are going. That's very clear. So we have the moral strength.
As the interim government.
Absolutely. Yeah. Interim government is a historical opportunity. It's an amazing opportunity.
So how in the short year, the 9-10 months that you've got, how are you going? And I'm interested. Chatham House has done a lot of work on corruption. Our most recent big project in Nigeria, but it's a problem that many countries have. I'm just interested in what you are trying to do.
Oh, just want to give one example.
Yep.
You need a passport. You have to go to the passport office, apply, and somebody will show up. You applied for a passport. If you go this way, it will take years. You'll never get it. You make a deal with me, give me X amount of money. I'll deliver it at your home. The guy is a representative of the officer who issues the passport. So everything that you see outside, all the norms, rules, procedures, now implemented not by the government officials, by their representatives who split the money that they earn. So what we said, from now on, we'll deliver passport online. And people were very happy that, okay, you can issue passport online. They go there to get this or try it at home. It doesn't work. What happened? Server is down. Somebody's manipulating.
It's really interesting. I mean, several countries are finding a way to use technology to cut out the person behind the desk.
Very helpful.
Yeah.
So what we did, we started this. Started creating some kiosks. Government Service Center. Oh, we don't say government. Bangladesh Service Center. Young guy with a computer sitting there, boy, girl, been trained to give all the services. This is all, we made all these months, we are preparing all the ministries, every service you got, whether you're paying taxes, or you're issuing driver's license, or you're issuing your renewal of your passport, whatever, or your land tax, which is absolutely complicated. They can make as complicated as they could. So now everything has to be delivered online. So we trained these young people, just started last month, this kiosk. And you come, there's a price list. If your passport, so many days, this month. It's so many days, and we deliver home. Not all, you give your message, you come and pick it up. That's it. So we have 3 centers now. Within next month, we'll expand it to several more. Gradually add to several more. And we're challenging every ministry. How many services you are ready to provide online? They say we have 5, we have 10, we have 15. Okay, whatever you give it to them. Train them. If there's difficulty, we'll have a meeting together. Why you are having difficulty? Maybe technological will solve the problem. It's our job. I said, the task of the interim government, by the time they leave the government, all these services will be available to people, and all the ladies at home in the villages, women, housewives, they will be delivering these services. We'll train them, they will deliver it. They don't have to come to the city to do that. Wherever you are, you have the computer, you have the everything.
Or the phone, yeah.
So this is the journey that we want to complete.
All right. So thank you for that detail, which is very inspiring. I want to jump to a vision of something much more difficult, which is the Rohingya. Hundreds of thousands of them in the camps. What is going to happen?
Well, that's a question I raised as we came to the responsibility. Rohingya is mentioned. Only time they mention who is paying for their food, who is paying for their education of the kids, that's about it. I said, then what? No question. Nobody's answering that question. There are international organizations helping this. I said, the question must be answered when they are going to go back. What is their future? That question was never discussed. I said, I want to discuss that. I want to raise that. So we went there, United Nations General Assembly. I had a special meeting of all the donor countries were helping the Rohingya issue. I raised this issue. Do you have a map, road map, when they want to go back? Oh, no, we have not done that. I said, please do that. Because unless, even if it's a 10 years, 20 years now, have a date. And we know 1 year is less now, another year gone, and we go there. So we are working very hard to make sure that we can repatriate those people to go back. In the meantime, we have problems. U.S. government stopped all the money. USAID money suddenly disappeared. And what used to be $12 a month per person for food, suddenly that $12 disappeared. Somebody said, okay, we can accommodate for 2 months for $6 a month. I said, okay, 6 months. Now it's $3 a month. What do you do with $3 a month for whole food for a family, for a person or something. So we're going through that process now. So organizing, again, going back to the world community, said, look, you asked us to host them, we are hosting them, but responsibility of maintaining them, you took yourself. So please don't create
Who are you talking to in that? Who do you really have in your sights that you would like help from?
There's a whole group of countries who are with us, who was connected to the Rohingya thing. We have meetings with them.
Is the UK one of those?
Of course, it's a very important one, not only one of those. The UK is a very important supporter of the whole thing, even now, in this crisis period. So we urged to have a global meeting of the Rohingyas on these issues and related issues in September this year at the United Nations. Have a separate UN General Assembly session on that. It's on the sideline of the General Assembly. Have that and discuss all these issues. This is one. In the meantime, political changes happening in Myanmar. Rakhine State is taken over by Arakan Army, which is all the hub of the Rohingya population. They have a new push of the Rohingyas pushing into Bangladesh. We started with 1.2 million Rohingyas. Now it's another 200,000 coming in from the other side because of the things are happening on the other side. So increase. And the most dangerous thing that I felt, and I started raising that, I said when they came, Rohingyas came to Bangladesh, they came with their kids. They didn't leave their kids. Some of the 2-month-old, some of the 2 years old, some of the 5 years old. I said 7 years are gone. The 5-year-old becomes 12-year-old, and so on. And each year there are 35,000 children are born. So they are growing up too. So we have a whole new young generation coming up. And they have no hope. They don't know who they are, what they are supposed to be doing. It's a prison that they live in, but they have the computer, they have the mobile phone, they see everything in the world. So they say, what is our future? I said, these will be very angry young people growing up. How their anger will be expressed, we don't know. Whichever way it will be expressed, it will be a big explosion, I can assure you right now. Please help us, so that before that explosion point comes, we can take care of them, they're happy with their life, they're as creative, as talented, any of our kids. They're no different. But they're in a situation, they see the world outside on their mobile, we see their televisions are everywhere, but they don't see their life, they're in a prison. And why they are in prison? They have stories to listen to their mother, their father, no answer, when do we come back home? And that's a very important question to be answered for them.
And your plan is still that eventually they go back home?
That's the only way we can solve.
You're not going to integrate them into Bangladesh?
It's impossible to do that. It's impossible.
Why?
So already the people who live around the camps, very hostile. Very simple reason. You get everything free. And we are struggling to make a life. And then you take our jobs, you take our food, you take away things from us. Why didn't you go back to your country? Why are you interfering with our life? Those kind of things. Your children having a fun life, our children, no life. To them it's a fun life because you're sitting there not playing games. It's a fun life. Our children is working hard, but no life. So that will spread. The moment you say that, you promise that they will go back. The government promised that they will go back, and they know that. Now, to say that they will stay with us, who are they? We are having difficulty now. You are putting them into us. No political government, no government will accept that.
You've made the point very, very clearly. Let's go to questions. There are going to be a lot of them because there are a lot online, I can see already.
Well, a lot of
them. Hands up everywhere.
Can I take the first opportunity?
Who is speaking?
Me.
I'm going to go to the woman here in the front.
Okay.
And then we're going to go one at a time. I'm going to take a couple here. I will come to you. And I will get the people in the back as well.
Thank you for the opportunity to question you. My name is Samia Akhtar and I'm a UK correspondent for the Daily Shongram Pratidin. So I have a question for you about your reformation agenda. You have said that for the freedom country or Bangladesh, new Bangladesh, you have to change some key pointers. Those are related to your reformation, which is reform. So now my question is to you that when you arrived at Dhaka airport on 8th of August 2024, you said that your main challenges is to bring all the people together. So whenever we see that the Bangladesh first President Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman's his house was demolished by over the 6 hours by Dhaka City Corporation bulldozer. So there we have seen that the administration was silent. So on this basis, you have you have made division by separating particular persons or their supporters. So on this basis, we can say that how you plan for reform Bangladesh or make unity, accept them, and are you an only advisor for the other half, excluding them particular parties or the persons?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed.
That's a lot of yeah, simple answer is lots of questions, lots of issues, all came at the same time. We couldn't handle everything right away. So it's a kind of a period that we have gone through. Things have calmed down, come to order. Now we are dealing with it. Bringing order to the nation was a big task for us because the police force that we got, yesterday they are shooting at the kids. And today suddenly they said, okay, clear the road, get out. Who are you? They want to beat you up because you killed my brother, you killed my son, you killed my sister. And now you're telling me to do what to do. So they're afraid to go to the road. So we had a deadlock situation. We didn't know how to handle those kind of things. So it took time. And luckily, I can report you, that has come down now. People are accepting the police, all the people that we identified as the perpetrator of all the terrible things that happened to Bangladesh, taken out of the services, and they will be under trial. This is the trial becomes such an important thing. You know the person. It's not something some police. I know the guy who did that. It's in front of me. It's in my video. I can show you my video. The whole thing happened in Bangladesh with open videos everywhere. So all recorded. It's an amazing kind of uprising where every single event is recorded as it happened. Not one camera. Everybody has a camera. Everybody's taken. It's all been assembled, it's identified, and we are trying to clean. We are not saying that we are a government to solve all the problems. We are successes. We have now a police force which can bring law and order in the country and so on. So we are, and the unity of the political parties is a #1 goal for us. We have been sitting together, all this thing we're talking about creating a July charter. It's not an easy thing for all the parties to sit together and debate, but we're doing that. And I'm promising you here, and I hope I can deliver you in July. July is next month. That charter will be announced in the presence of all parties. That's the best unity you can get in any country after a revolution within a month, within a year.
Okay. Thank you very much. The front row here, the man next to you, is so packed.
Thank you, Chair.
I'd like to say who you are, please.
My name is Bulbul Hassan. I work for Channelist Television. I've got a very precise question. People in Bangladesh, a significant number of people in Bangladesh, apparently disillusioned with the conventional political system. So once the election is over, the democratically elected government takes over. Are you in a position, or do you have any desire to be a part of that government?
No way. No way.
Good one.
I think none of our cabinet members would like to do that, not only me. So our job is to make sure the transition is managed well and people are happy when we hand over power to the elected government. So we want to make sure election is right. That's a very critical factor for us. If the election is wrong, this thing will never be solved again. It will be very difficult.
Thank you for the question and answer. Right, Miko, last one in the front row here. and then I'm coming to the back, and over here. We've got good time. Not for everyone, but lots of time. Oh, sorry, no, this chap here, sorry.
Hi, thank you very much for arranging this event. My name is Diwan Mehdi. I'm the Director General of British Bangladesh Chamber of Commerce and Industry. First of all, I would like to say thank you to you for taking the responsibility in a big chaos when the young generation was wanting for a big change. So you showed the courage, and we appreciate your time and patience.
We had no other option.
Okay. My question is to you. We have seen a very surprising role played by India. They seem to be a democratic country, but when it comes, we talk about Bangladesh, their role is very unclear. In what capacity, if I speak very legally, they are keeping Sheikh Hasina in their country, while there would be a trial going on in our country. And the same question was asked in their parliament. They did not have any clear answer. And I know you are a very well-known person, like internationally. In order to create pressure on India, how you are using your lobby in terms of United Kingdom, in terms of USA and other countries, because this is very surprising in 21st century. If we see a prime minister fled from one country after killing thousands of people, after making injured thousands of students, like number of incidents we have seen there was no internet even. Our friends were there, our family member was there, and someone needs to take the responsibility. And in what capacity India is keeping her?
Thank you for the question.
As you described, if I had the chance to show the 1 minute video of 1 minute video for the entire thing, so whatever somebody captured, you'll understand what it is, how the things happen, how terrible things, how cruel things happen. So it's not the 1 minute. It goes on month after month that happened and came to the peak of this in July, and finally 5th of August the government disappeared. So all this anger is in there, and the whole anger and everything is now transferred in India, because the Prime Minister went there and started, not only she's living there, the problem is, when I had a chance to talk to Prime Minister Modi, I just simply said, you want to host her? I cannot force you to abandon that policy, but please help us in making sure she doesn't speak to Bangladeshi people the way she is doing. She announces on such and such day, such and such hour she will speak, and the whole Bangladesh get very angry. That why is she speaking? Why is she keeping this whole anger thing inside of us now?
And is India doing what you asked?
No. Modi's answer, I quote, he said, it's a social media, we cannot control it. What can you say? It's an explosive situation. You can't just walk away by saying it's a social media. So this is what is still going on.
May I ask you, I believe in technical terms,
Yeah.
you've written an informal, an unsigned diplomatic note
Yes.
to India.
Yes, we did.
Asking for her extradition.
Absolutely.
And they've noted that it has arrived. But does that mean, in a sense, you're leaving it to the next government?
This will continue. I mean, this
Yeah,
is,
but it is-
now,
it
in
is
the
not
meantime,
the-
another stage has come.
Yeah.
I just want to add. Now there's a case, the International Criminal Tribunal has started the trial process. They send notices to Hasina for all the crimes she has committed, part of the crimes. There's so many other crimes coming up. So they have to respond to that notice. This is a legal notice now. So we have to go to the Interpol and all the other things that happen to that. This is the process that we are following. We want it to be very legal, very proper. We don't want to make sure that we do something out of anger or something. We want to build the best of relationship with India. It's our neighbor. We don't want to have any kind of basic problem with them. But somehow things go wrong every time because of all the fake news coming from the Indian press. And many people say it has connections with the policymakers on the top and so on. So this is what makes Bangladesh very jittery, very, very angry. We try to get over this anger, but the whole barrage of things keep happening on the cyberspace, we can't just get away from that. Even if I try to peaceful, suddenly they say something, do something, anger comes back.
Okay.
So this is our now big task to make sure that we can have at least a peaceful life to go on with our life, to create the life that we are dreaming about.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to take two now. You've been very energetic, right by the wall. Yep, you. And then I'm going to take the one who has been, yes, you, who is going like that. Right at the back, yep, you. Pointing at your own head, yep.
Thank you, Professor Yunus. My name is Nazimuddin. I'm the chairman of Chattogram Shamiti UK. I was born just 2 miles away from your birthplace.
Okay.
So with that disclaimer, I wanted to ask a question to you. Will you seize this opportunity, this moment, to break free from fascist structure and system, and then allow the people to vote for the reforms that you are taking and embed that reform into a constitution, and through referendum allow people to vote for it? As far as I'm aware, about 20,000 comments that I read on social media, 95% people support your reforms. We don't want to be hostage to political parties. Why don't you just go back directly to civic societies and the people and allow them to vote whether they would like to go ahead and change Bangladesh for the future and make it a real tiger for the world economy. Thank you.
Thank you. I want to be clear. Are you asking for a vote on the charter?
Absolutely. What I'm asking is that July Charter, of course, will be a legally binding agreement.
Yep.
But in order to sustain that reform, it needs to be structurally built in within Constitution.
You'd like a vote on that?
Yeah, we heard about that, about having a kind of referendum on the issues that we have. There are so many complicated issues. The argument is referendum will be meaningless because most of the people don't even understand what you're what they're voting for. So people will laugh at it, that it doesn't make any sense. So it's the politicians representing the people, all parties. They are involved in all these political issues and all the national issues, and they're supposed to understand, they're supposed to debate. If they have agreed together, all parties, that's what we are focusing on, all parties, then it's more real than giving it to a referendum of all the package. It's a big package. So this is what the path we took.
But referendums have lots of problems with them, many countries know, but...
You must be referring to something, they're smiling.
But it would answer the point, the challenge to you, that this charter is in some way not democratic. We can come back to that. Let me come to you who stood up. You've been very energetic.
Chief Advisor, welcome to London.
Thank you.
On behalf of British Bangladeshi community, I'm Councillor Saifuddin Khalid. I'm also a practicing barrister, British Bangladeshi practicing barrister in London. I have two questions for you. How confident are you?
Could you possibly have just one?
It's very quick two questions. I'm not going to make a statement. How confident are you that the political and democratic organs will be well equipped to hold a general election, a credible election with level playing field by April 2026?
We'll try our best.
And secondly, British Bangladeshi community would like to have a meeting with you. Do you have a plan to meet British Bangladeshi community who are eagerly waiting to meet and have view exchange with you? Thank you, Chief Advisor.
Thank you. Thank you very much for inviting. I wish we could, but our program made such a packed program. We are rushing from one to the other. Thank you so much, but definitely we'll try to keep in touch. Thank you.
We can take this
Very kind of you.
As part of the meeting. I'm going to the woman in a white shirt there. Sorry, I can't quite see. Yes. Thank you.
Hello.
Professor, my name is Dr. Zoe Mandich, and I'm very, very interested in Bangladesh and especially the young generation, the generation which stood up for justice, and this is a role model for all of us. My question is that with the new technology such as AI, what can be done? What is in your policies and support you're giving to that 10 million student who rose in terms of, having a hopeful future, getting a foot place in the market, in the global market for future and for jobs? And there are obviously countries around you that are running special AI programs. Is there anything that we can do to help and support the students especially? Thank you.
Definitely. Thank you. Thank you for your offer. It's a very important offer. We want to be supportive of the young people as much as we can. And I try to bring to the notice of the world and notice of people in Bangladesh. Bangladesh is a very unique country. It's the 8th most populous country in the world. Don't forget that. It's a huge number of people in that country, 180 million people, in a very tiny space. The most important part of that is not about the density of the population, is about the age of the population. Half the population of that 180 million, 90 million people, is under the age of 26 and younger. So this is a unique feature of Bangladesh, where many countries getting older and older, they don't have people to work in these countries. Bangladesh is getting younger and younger, and young population everywhere, and very talented young people, not just young people, very talented, very creative young people. I get goosebumps when I think about this. This is more than gold mine. You can do anything in the world with this young population, only if we can run our country right. Because this is needed not for Bangladesh, it's needed for the whole world. I was recently visiting Japan. Amazing thing, request they're making. Please send your young people to Japan. We want to take as many as you can send. So we signed 2 agreements in this trip to send 100,000 young people to go and work in Japan. And I said, please keep these doors open so that we can continue to bring young people from Bangladesh, boys and girls, not just boys and girls, to come to Japan and do everything that you need to do, because you don't have any population to run your factory, run your businesses, run your buses. Their buses are stopped. They have no driver. Their taxis don't function. There's no driver. Your businesses shut down because there's no people who run the business. Their agriculture stopped, abandoned, because nobody's there. The machines are there, farmhouse is there, land is there, no people. I said, okay, we will be very happy to help you, to send our young people. They said, only thing you need to do, teach them how to speak Japanese. I said, we'll do that. We'll do that.
So we are
a very lucky country, that's what it is. We're a very lucky country to be so resourceful with human beings.
Great. No, can I, I'm sorry, I'm going to come here to the front row. There's a storm of people with things to say.
Thank you, give me a chance. Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Yunus. First time I met with him in France when a Grabin Czech fair. Second time in 2099 when Bangladesh problem is arsenic.
Yeah.
This time Dr. Yunus held one meeting in Paris. This time I was there. Third time I met with him in Spain.
This is a wonderful history, but please could you get to the question?
Thank you. Today I am, thank you for everybody to arrange this meeting about in Bangladesh situation. But I want one question. Dr. Yunus, please held the election upcoming 2026 you declare in April. We want to see for the foreign Bangladeshi people also, we have to give a right for vote. This is my...
That's right.
Thank you.
That's our promise. We'll do that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, I'm going to take the woman in the second row here. Yep.
Thank you. My name is Halima Begum. I represent Oxfam, but mostly I'm here representing my mother, who cannot be here today, and it's an honor to be in this space with you today, Chief Advisor. My question is...
Please give my salam to her.
Thank you very much. You will be so pleased. The question really I have is how much security can you offer to the protection of women's rights and gender? Because often when we see challenges around democracy, it's women who are then exposed. And as we know, the rollback of gender is quite a significant concern at the moment. Thank you.
Thank you very much. There are not so many women in this audience here today, so thank you for the question.
Very bold recommendations. Women are outspoken. There are many members in our cabinet represent them, women cabinet members. So the status-wise, we are doing the best possible way. We are not perfect. Definitely Bangladesh has lots of difficulties in getting all the rights established in an open and fair way. But government is committed to establish them. That's all we can assure you. Thank you.
Thank you. Woman here on green on the aisle.
So much. I'm Mr. Rahman.
No, sorry. I'm so sorry. It was a very good beginning. Let me see if we can get you in. Let me see if we can get you in as well. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's working.
It's on.
Your Excellency, welcome to London. My name is Zamira Konopianova. I work for Chevron. So we're one of your largest investors who have been partnering with your country for over 30 years. My question is what actions your government is taking to attract foreign direct investments into Bangladesh and specifically into the energy sector? Thank you.
We are very, very active on that. We have been holding summits of investors, and Chevron is a participant on that. We're inviting many other companies to come and invest. And we are promising them something very important, that you don't have to come and invest here just to sell your things to Bangladesh. Bangladesh is offering itself to be the production hub for the world, not just for Bangladesh. So we provide young people that are ready to work for you, and we provide all other facilities so that you can plug and play situation. You bring your factory, produce it, and sell it to the world. In return, also, we are promising that we will build our port facilities in a world-class way, so that you don't have any difficulty in bringing things to Bangladesh and sending out your products that you have produced here. So that's how we are bringing the investors, not only for Bangladesh, or we also keep reminding them, you have a big market right here, not just Bangladesh. You can produce to Bangladesh. We have all the communication things. We'll fix it up to deliver it to Nepal. Nepal is a country that cannot access to the ocean, so we will give you the access to the ocean. And you produce it, bring things to Nepal, to Bhutan, even the seven sisters in India, where also we open up, so that we all prosper together. This whole region is a potentially very attractive region for productions. So we are inviting all the companies to come and make use of all the facilities that we are creating. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'm going to take a couple of questions from online. There are brilliant questions online, particularly about the election process. I think we've covered it as much as we can in the time, but thank you for the questions. Let me take a pair of questions which are on the Bangladeshi community in the UK. One from Anamo Chowdhury saying, Your Excellency, Bangladeshis living in the UK are sometimes regarded as a disadvantaged community in comparison to others. What advice would you offer to help shape a more prosperous future for them? And then there's one from Katie Dominy saying, what would you like the British Bengali community to do to help Bangladesh?
Absolutely. This is an opportunity of lifetime. That you are here, you are lucky that you have access to so many knowledge and success and services and resources. Please bring it to make changes happen in Bangladesh. This is the time for Bangladesh to change fundamentally, not just a touch and go kind of thing. It's fundamental changes Bangladesh is waiting. One of the things we're encouraging to build up apps so that you can tell us who's willing to do what kind of facilities, what kind of knowledge, what kind of ideas that you can share with us, so that you can come and help us to build the country that we are all trying to help transform itself in the quickest way possible. Its potential is there. Simply connections with the people. You are here is a tremendous resource for us. Here in the USA, in Japan, in many other countries, the Bangladeshi community, very resourceful community, and we'll be very happy to have your support and your work. Thank you.
On that note, we are going to have to stop. I am so sorry. There are so many questions up. Thank you.
Thank you.